What's up? Tim Sykes here with Mari. How's it going?
Hi, Tim. I'm good.
Been a while. How you been?
I know, it's been a really long time. It's been good.
Now you dressing all black. You're all grown up now.
I know. I don't know, because I do love color. This is one of my first times I've been wearing all black.
It's a nice necklace. You got all black.
My
It's
coat is
cool.
blue.
It's freezing here. We're here in, what is this, Boston, New Hampshire?
New Hampshire.
So you're Colombian and you were saying you like the cold.
I love the cold.
And it is freezing here. Do most Colombians like the cold?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Right?
I do love skiing though. So
Okay. Have you been skiing lately?
I went last month and then I'm going to go tomorrow.
Oh, be careful.
I will.
Go slow. Bunny slopes?
No.
No. She says no.
I don't think I've ever done a bunny slope.
I've done the bunny slopes. I fell down the bunny slopes.
Oh no.
You have to be careful. Do you do black
Yeah.
diamonds?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So you go
Yeah,
speed.
but no, I go slow. I don't speed. I go slow, but I do like the black diamonds. And you also get the best views.
For those of you
I
who don't
think so.
know, Mari is very patient. She eats her creme brulee in 30 minutes. Are you still patient in your trading? How quick are your trades these days?
I would say I've had about 2 years where I've really gotten to like know myself again, because I feel like after coming out of the hot market, the craziest market that we've ever seen in COVID, I feel like I needed some time to myself once again, just to like recollect who I truly am as a trader, because I feel like I was going through a lot of highs and lows during that time, but that was because, I mean, during COVID, like you make all of this and then you kind of just like adjust to using the same size even after, you know, COVID. And then I had to adjust again to learning new patterns and learning completely new things. And once I feel like this year was one of my favorite years because I finally 2024 was one of my favorite years because I finally was able to like get back to the person that I am, which is being patient. I only take 1 to 2 trades max a day. I don't trade in the afternoons. I don't trade pre-market. I also have really sized down lately and I've really focused on a pattern that I love. And I feel like with this pattern, I really get a trade every single day, which is really what I'm like most kind of like focused on, just being able to get 1 trade a day.
You scratch the itch that you need to do the trade.
Yeah. And it's also, I just feel like for my personality, I'm like a very consistent person and I just thrive in consistency. Like I like my schedule to be the same every day.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps me just to like take 1 trade a day, 2, 3, 4K, and then I'll take either a loss or a gain, but I just know that I'm either taking 1 to 2 trades and I'll be out way before end of day.
Okay.
But I have been more patient since I now have learned the strategy for a little longer. I know when I can hold these stocks for a little longer, so maybe sometimes I'll hold for longer, but I try to be as patient as possible and as consistent as possible because I just feel like that's the way that I even like started trading. It was just little gains, like they'll add up, and then over time, like it just turns out great because you're also learning this new strategy and you're taking it every day.
So trading is very personal, right? So everyone watching this is slightly different. And we just did a video. I'm here with JCP also. If you click the link below, you can watch a video I did with JCP. He found what really works for him buying breakouts, right? That might not work for you. That might not work for me. That might not work for people watching this. What works for you right now?
For me, well, I started really sizing up when I learned the panic dip buys, which was the OTCs. And I remember I took 1,000 trades before I even found my pattern. And then I was able to find the panic dip buys. And then after that, I kind of switched because now we don't have a lot of OTC panic dip buys every day.
No more ENZCs, OZSCs,
TSNP.
TSNBs.
Nothing.
Why?
So now I had to find something that was kind of similar to that, where I know I can take 1 trade a day, which is the gap and crop setup.
Yeah.
And I know it's like a shorting setup, but I just know that almost every single day you get one. And I just try to focus on the ones that open the highest, so I know that I can get a good risk to reward trading those. And then I'll kind of just like take 10, 15% a day or 20%, and then I'll just be done. So those are the ones that I've been mainly focused on because that's what I feel comfortable with. I feel like I've tried NASDAQ breakouts. I've tried almost every single other strategy, but I don't feel like comfortable taking them.
Yeah.
So this is the one strategy that I feel like, okay, I get the hang of it, and then I kind of just, the more practice that I get, I feel like the more I understand it, and then the more I can either size up or just like leave it. I kind of just like understand them a little bit more.
So whatever works for you guys. Like, you know, your strategy right now is very similar to the Shunk brothers, where they're not necessarily just taking one trade, but they're shorting near the open and then they're holding during the fades.
Right.
And like you get these crazy fades. It's not like, you know, all short sellers blow up. I just think it's risky for, you know, most newbies. But if you get a lot of these plays, they just fade all day. I'm watching these robot stocks spike even more. This is so bad. I'm sorry. This is crazy. Oh my God. JCP was in BTQQF also. This one's spiking 395.
Good. Wow.
There's so many plays.
And FNMA too.
And Fannie Mae, right? You can speak. You don't have to be silent back there. You're doing well. Congrats to JCP. Can they see him or they can't see him?
OTCs, baby.
OTCs are back. I mean, look, Chris Shunk made 1.3 million last year. Evan made like 600,000. How much did you make last year, roughly?
I made around 320.
$320,000. Everybody says this. That was basically what I made, almost to a T. And I'm going long, and I'm a mess. I was actually red in December. Were you red in December?
No, I wasn't. But I would say trading the quantum sector, short selling, was pretty difficult. And I just feel like they wouldn't fade. And I was waiting for that fade.
Yeah.
But there were also some other trades that were pretty good. I think we had DXYZ.
DXYZ was great.
At some point, that was pretty good. SOUN was also another good trade. So they had the AI sector, but
AI's fade. AI's fade, robots fade.
Yeah.
Right now, as of January 2025, quantums are not fading.
No.
It's insane.
No.
And I know many short sellers who have gotten crushed because like the quantum plays don't have the fundamentals to support their multi-billion-dollar valuations, but it doesn't matter. Like it's a hot sector.
Yeah.
So it just keeps going, right? What was your best and worst trade of 2024?
I would say, I feel like the one that comes to mind right now, my worst trade was MLGO during June, which it's like you said, you know, short selling is also pretty difficult. Like sometimes you just freeze and you don't really know what to do and you just hold longer than you want to, which
And it just kept going.
it happens.
MLGO
and
is crazy.
And I ended up cutting like at the highs. So it was like
How much did you
bitter. I lost 18,000.
lose? How'd you feel that day?
I didn't feel very good.
Yeah, right?
Especially with like how undisciplined I was, because I know that, you know, if something is trading insane volume and it's not really giving you an exit, you kind of have to get out but way before you freeze. You need to anticipate that you need to just cut the loss before it gets ugly.
Did you ever try to outlast a squeeze?
With MLGO, I tried to do that.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
But
Because you don't know how high these
that
things
was
can
my
go.
worst loss, and it was so undisciplined. And I feel like my best trade that comes to mind was DXYZ, because I would say maybe I didn't have the biggest size, but I would say it was like my best executed trade. I was really patient for the entry, took it around the 70s, and then ended up covering into like 60s and 50s. So I held that one kind of like all day, and I was pretty confident that that was going to be the day, because I didn't trade it the day before because I said I'm just going to wait one more day, which was the right choice. And then the next day I ended up just taking it, being confident in the trade, and I was just very disciplined and patient to be able to cover throughout the day.
Sometimes the best trades aren't just about size. Like it's, you know, trading, a lot of this is like feeling good. Like if you nail an entry, if you nail an exit, and you're like, it's not even about size. I actually do better with smaller size because sometimes gives me more patience, and then like you can get back to like the, I don't know, you can call it like the fundamentals, right? Because like with big size, you get a little sloppy because the money is just like, it can get insane, right?
Yeah, that was probably what caused so many highs and lows during my trading while I was adjusting was, I mean, what I did to kind of like help my trading was size down. All of the accounts would start at 30K and then just like keep resetting it and keep resetting it as you can. And that just pretty much kind of like helped.
I find that works because then you can't take too big size. Like a lot of traders struggle where you're profiting a little, but then the account gets too big and then your size up and then you get sloppy.
Yeah.
Like
and that happens to me.
I
get emotional because, I mean, if you're trading with such big size and then you're also trading these high volatile stocks,
you want to make more.
It's
only natural. You want to make more. But with these fast moving stocks, especially short selling, it can get very sloppy. It's a very slippery slope.
Yeah.
Right? It's like skiing.
Very slippery.
But with speed, right? So you say you go down the black diamonds, but you don't go that fast. You like the views.
Yeah, and then you kind of just like go in a zigzag. You kind of slow it down.
It's similar to trading,
straight
right?
down.
So imagine going black diamond. You're like, let's go, maximum adrenaline.
The crash would be bad.
The crash can be bad. You can't control
really
the speed, right?
Yeah.
Do you find that like skiing and trading are similar?
Very similar. Same as driving a car or pretty much like anything.
So you don't have the adrenaline rush. This is why females are better traders.
Although when I did go skydiving, because I went skydiving, it was so scary and it was so much adrenaline. I just feel like I'd never want to feel that like
you
feeling
stop.
again.
You're not in
you
control.
never really stop, and then you're just kind of like going.
Where'd you go skydiving?
Vegas.
Was it good?
It was scary. It was scarier than I thought. No, I didn't like it. I wouldn't do it again.
I did it twice.
I was expecting it to be a little bit better, but it wasn't.
I got sinus infections both times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
My Jewish nose can't take that stuff. I'm watching these robot plays. RR keeps spiking. I probably should have bought it. M-bot's coming down a little. What is this FCUV? Why do we have a new spiker? Oh my God, look at FCUV. Another one, right? Literally, we can't get like an hour off or like even like 2 hours off.
But that's good. I feel like during the summer we definitely didn't have this type of action.
I want a slow market.
Slower.
You like a fast market?
No, I love the slow market.
Because you have your consistency where you're like one trade.
I think that's actually better for me. I'm a better trader when it's slow. Because I can just pick the one that's going, and that's it.
I can't handle it.
Now it's like there's so many. What do you choose?
What do you choose? Like I can't even stop watching.
Yeah.
Do you see this one?
Yeah, FCUV.
You see FCUV? Is there news?
I don't know, I'll check.
Unbelievable. I literally can't even keep up. It's a good problem to have, right?
It is. Way better.
What do you find most people have problems with? Like, because you talk with a bunch of traders. What do people, especially you have your girl crew, right? What does the girl crew have problems with?
I don't know. I would probably say just picking, knowing the right stock to focus on throughout the day, because there's also so many, but you're also just getting your screen time. And while you're getting screen time, you need to practice with so many other stocks. But I tend to find that the ones that I'm best at are the ones that have the most volume on the day.
Yeah.
Whereas those could just be too volatile for new traders as well. So I would say just picking the right stocks to focus on.
I mean, this is why I like the biggest percent gainers, right? So I'm always watching. So I had CRNC this morning. You see CRNC?
I did.
So I had that at 10. I bought it at 10.20 and I flipped it at 10.60 and it went to $20.
Oh my goodness.
They have a deal with NVIDIA. So this is how stupid this market is. Any kind of upcoming AI or robot or quantum play, all it takes is one press release and it can just ignite it. Did you see Hollow?
And sometimes they don't even have news for them to go. I think ONCO was one earlier in the week that had no news, and it was still ran to like 2.
Did you see Hollow? HOLO?
I did.
So Hollow was one of the biggest short squeezes of the past few years, and they had one quantum PR being like, hey, we're going into quantum. And it ignited the stock from, what did it do? It was, I think it went from like the 2s to like 9.
Yeah. I was short.
Went from the 1s to the 9s. You shorted Hollow?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Around.
On the crack?
Yeah, I did. Like right there. But that was, I wasn't watching it. I wasn't watching it, but
I'll post a screenshot.
Thankfully, I like clicked on the chart and I was like, this kind of looks like a good short because it was rejecting that new highs. It worked out.
This was scary. So for me as a long bias trader, I'm looking to dip buy it, but literally it dropped from like 9, came down to like 6, had multiple halts. When it reopened, it's in the 5s, then a 15-minute halt, then it reopens in the 4s. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, some of these plays, they just keep going. There was a Chinese play a few months ago, and it just kept dropping. What was it, like XHG? Do you remember that one?
I don't remember.
Was it XHG? Oh my God, was it XHG? It was XHG. So XHG was one of these Chinese plays, and it just dropped and never came back. And like, for me as a dip buyer or a long trader, I mean, that's just so scary because normally you expect like little bounces or something, and there was just nothing. So you have to be very careful. But as a short seller, you love that. Have you ridden any of these plays down and you're just like up like 70, 80, 90%? Or are you taking singles?
I don't think so. No, I take the singles for the most part. Although ONCO ended up going to 60 cents.
Yeah. When
and
did you
I think I was
short it at?
short. Let me see.
Was this recent?
Yeah, this was here.
Nice.
I ended up getting short at the. I think it was.
It was $2 and it dropped all the way down to 60 cents.
Yeah, I tried it in like around 1, and then I was able to get back in, and then I covered in the low
So
ones.
you like shorting this like kind of top or double top where it starts to look
fails.
like it's about to fail. So
Yeah,
you were
although
shorting-
I wasn't very patient with it. I still took a loss
is
earlier in the
ONCO.
morning. And then I still took a loss earlier in the morning, and then I retried it later in the day, thinking, okay, I'm just going to give it a little bit more time. And I ended up covering in the low ones, but then it went to 60 cents.
Do you feel bad when you're shorting a stock and it dips more, or you're like, no, I'm happy, I made my money?
I was happy, but then when I saw it at 60, I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
I could have held longer.
I mean, I don't really feel
Yeah.
guilt like when I see like, okay, CRNC like doubled, but I made my 40 cents a share. I didn't know it was going to go up 10 more dollars a share.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I feel like you've made peace with just taking singles.
I think so, especially after having those highs and lows and just not feeling great about it at all.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where the peace comes in. Like, okay, no, this is really good. This is what I want to be. This is like the personality that I have. And I would just rather keep those singles than kind of like goes for highs and lows. Because say I would want to size up, but then you also have to put yourself in a position to lose more.
And have more
when
stress.
I'm like, I really don't want to put myself in that position.
Yeah.
But maybe some other time. But for now, I just feel like when I have something good going, I just want to keep
Well, you
it.
get to choose, right?
Yep.
So like, I actually like trading smaller. I like donating all my trading profits to charity. A few years ago, I would have been like, screw that. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
But you find what works for you. Trading smaller and then giving back makes this more meaningful for me. And I can fine tune and show my process, which I love.
Yeah.
Versus if I had huge size, I mean, you
So
and Juan have seen me
stressful.
stressed just even with small size.
Yeah.
Imagine big size. I'd have like an aneurysm, right? Like, literally, I treat it very seriously where I'm up or down like a few $1,000s, but like, I mean, like we both know Jack, right? Jack takes huge size. and
Very
he's
big
like,
size, yeah.
He's in the groove, going to bed at 8 p.m., waking up at 2, 3 a.m.
And that's his personality. I just feel like everybody's so different. You just have to find what works for you.
So you would rather, make $200,000-$300,000 a year with small size, low stress, than risk. Maybe you make $1 million, but huge stress,
Right.
right?
I would rather.
And that's the crazy thing. So like, this is a very good point. It's not just how much money you guys can make in any day, week, month. It's making the market work for you. I know it's good to be a millionaire. Like, congratulations on going over $1 million. But at the same time, you like pulling back, and that works for you. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a lot better, like mentally. But also I understand, like maybe next year I want to size up. So you get to choose whatever you want.
Well, I mean, it's not one size fits all, right?
Uh-huh.
Like you used to work in an ice cream shop. Like sometimes you like 1 scoop, 2 scoops, 3 scoops.
Well, I kind of worked at an ice cream shop.
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but
It's not a bad thing.
well,
I want
yeah,
to
I
work
was just
in an
like
ice cream
helping
shop.
out.
That's cool. But
Because
I'm
now my
just,
family's gonna be like, "Oh my God, you didn't actually like."
just saying. I'm saying that you get to choose how many scoops.
Right.
Like, or are you consistent? Like, if you order ice cream, you're like always 1 scoop. I feel like you might be that person.
Well, I cut sugar, so now I don't even have 1 scoop.
If you did have ice cream, would you limit yourself to one scoop?
Well, I think so.
What's like your cheat meal these days? Are you like Tom Brady?
No, I
Avocado
love
ice?
cheat meals, but I
Okay.
just don't have sugar. But I love.
What's a cheat meal for you?
I think anything like.
Well, you can't be sugar.
Hamburger,
You can't be
steak.
pancakes.
Well, okay, let's say pizza,
Okay.
burgers,
So you limit yourself to one
Italian.
slice.
No,
Oh.
no.
How many slices can you have?
Well, I guess if you ask my dad, he would say a lot.
Charlie would say a lot.
He would probably say a lot.
What's a lot? Like four slices?
I would say like 6.
You can have 6 slices?
Well, I've had 6 with my dad, but
Leave a comment.
no, it's
Leave a
unfair.
comment. How many slices of pizza do you think Mari
no,
can
I
have?
swear.
6 slices?
Yes, you could
What,
call
of like
my
a
dad
kid's
right
pie?
now.
But like a kid's pie is like smaller slices.
Well,
I'm
it's
not talking
not
about
like the
Chuck E.
extra
Cheese.
large, but I wouldn't say it's like the
You're talking
small
about Chuck
one.
E. Cheese with a little square.
The tiniest little
Right?
pizza.
Oh, I had 6 slices.
No. I love pizza. I feel like that's probably one of my favorite foods.
Okay.
Like that's
6
true.
slices. We're gonna go out for pizza, and I'm gonna
Well,
make you
now I
eat
don't
6
know.
slices, and
I'm
you're
not
gonna be
gonna
like
eat pizza.
3. You're gonna be done at 3. You're gonna be like, no, that's too
Probably.
much.
Yeah, I might.
But do you order the same amount of slices every time? That's what I'm asking.
Well, whenever I go out, I usually get the same pizza, so maybe.
But the same slices too.
No,
'Cause
sometimes
you like
I'll eat
your
less, sometimes
consistency.
I'll eat more.
All right, that
Not
was the
the
point.
same.
That was the point, FYI, of this whole conversation. You can choose how many slices you want. You can choose your position size. It's not one size fits all. We have
Right.
millionaire after millionaire betting big. You have Juan being like, bet big after you get the data. You get the data and you bet small.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. I like showing that option to people because they don't
Right.
realize it. People think it's all about money and they don't understand why I trade small. Very similar. I don't just do it for stress. I also do it because I have no Wi-Fi, no sleep, and I'm like a mess.
No,
But it's
yeah.
good for students too. And I encourage you guys to trade small. When you were first starting, do you think that you should start small? Like someone, let's say it's their first year or second year of trading right now. How big should they trade?
I would say trade small, because I mean, obviously all of those are going to add up, but it doesn't really matter. Like the first couple of years, you're really just trying to get screen time. So even if you don't make anything, like you're going to college anyways for 4 years and you're not even doing what like you're studying. And then once you get out of college, that's when you learn, and that's 4 years like minimum. So that's almost the same thing as trading. You're learning something completely new. You don't have to rush yourself into making any money at all.
Can we add a clap track? Can we add like clapping?
If
Like
you don't
lots-
make anything, like that's fine.
The money that you make in the beginning is negligible. I know everyone wants to make a lot right away, but you have the right idea where you set aside an entire year and you just studied, which is crazy. I don't encourage that. That's insane. That's extra patience. That's like serial killer patience.
Yeah. It's
One
kinda
year?
crazy. If I was starting now, I feel like I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, now
But-
the market's too hot.
Yeah. And also just like getting around more traders, then it's like, I don't think I would take a year off. If I was starting out again, I would take really small size, but I definitely wouldn't take a whole year off because you need screen time, the practice with the platforms, you need to get in and out. You need to just get your feet wet, and the most that you can, like get your feet wet, like do it.
But even if you
like-
started, you would trade like 100 shares or like 200 shares.
I would
It's
say so,
possible,
yeah.
right? Like you don't have to trade, you don't have to go all in. The money that you make in the beginning is negligible in the long run. You have to grow your knowledge account. You have 2 accounts, knowledge account and your brokerage account, right?
Yeah.
So you took a year to study, that's fine. Now maybe you wouldn't, but even if you started now, would be with small size.
Definitely. And then trying out everything, whatever you think, because you don't know what you're really going to be comfortable with. I would try long. I wouldn't really try shorting if I was starting
Yeah.
at all, but I
Yeah.
would try almost every single long setup just so you know, okay, this makes sense, it doesn't make sense, because it is true, like you do feel more comfortable with some things than others.
100%.
Yeah, and everybody trades different. Like we could be in a room full of 10 traders and every single person would trade totally different.
Yeah.
Like we could share all of our trades and none of us would take the same exact
But
trade.
that's good for people to see this because like people think like it's one size fits all, like you have to do this. You don't.
No.
Trading is however you want it. The stock market is what you make of it. We're all different. We have different personalities, different time zones, different skill levels. And I'm just proud of you to like find, what you love and doing it the right way in your early 20s. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I know some traders where they make a lot of money. I just had dinner with some traders who made a lot of money and they want to retire because they're so stressed. And I was like, why would you want to retire? Literally,
Yeah.
people who have made millions, tens of millions of dollars, and they're like, I'm done. Because they're so stressed. Like, do you watch Lord of the Rings?
Yes. I
Frodo
actually really
can't go
like-
back to the Shire at the end. I don't know if you remember that. He's seen too much.
Oh, yes.
He
Yeah.
can't go. He goes
I
off on the
remember that.
magic ship with Gandalf.
Yeah.
So once you make too much, once you push yourself too much, I mean, sometimes you can't go back. And it's
Right.
like it's crazy to me when some of these traders make tens of millions of dollars. They're like, I'm so
That's
done.
it.
Like it's bad
Right.
because they recognize
The
it's like bad for their
saturation,
mental
yeah.
health, even though they're rich and they're rich AF. But it's too stressful.
Right.
Versus me, like I'm trading small, it's not stressful. I mean, it's a little stressful, but it's something I can manage. I don't want to retire. I love teaching. I love trading. But almost every big trader I know, they want to make enough so they can get out. It's like this
Like you
weird
start
thing.
and you have this in mind, and then I don't know. I just feel like you have like a cup, and then that cup like fills and then fills and then fills, and then sometimes one year you just fill your whole cup, and you're like, oh, I'm so tired.
Tired,
Yeah.
stressed, like,
Addicted, everything.
It's true. Trading can be addictive,
Yeah.
right? With the money that you make, and then you're like, I want more. But then
Yeah.
sometimes the market doesn't comply, and you want your profits that you had in the hot market,
Yeah.
and then the market doesn't care what you want. And then you bet big, and then you lose all the big profits. And then it's a slippery slope because then you're like, I have to make it back, I have to make it back, I have to
Right.
make it back.
And then it's like a cycle. And you get to choose, like you're your own boss. So you pretty much get to choose what you do and how much time you put into it. Like either you balance or you go all in 1 year, or I don't know, you get to choose whatever you want.
100%.
But don't fill your cup. That's not fun. Because then your job is just going to be like, ugh.
It's not just about the money, guys. Like you want to enjoy this, and frankly, the market's always going to be here. So the longer you can be in it, especially when you get experience, the more you
Right.
can partake. You don't have to just go 100% or 1,000% or none. Like there's many different levels along the way. One last tip for everybody: how can they maximize 2025?
I don't know, just like get motivated, but then not only motivated, but just be consistent and do it every single day of the year and just put it in your mind like, this is what I want to do for the whole year, and just go all in. This is what I want to learn.
And she means go all in on your education.
Yes.
Not go
The
all
knowledge.
in. Not go all in. Remember, 2 accounts. Go all in on knowledge account, not brokerage account. Have you ever gone all in on your brokerage account?
I
Lately?
don't think so.
Not lately.
Not lately, but I have.
I remember you had a $50,000 loss once upon a time on
Yeah.
Robinhood, and you didn't even know what you were doing.
And on mRNA. I've
Yeah.
had a lot of big losses.
And you don't want those anymore.
No.
So you size down, trade small. Everyone congratulate Mari. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep it up. Study hard. Maximize 2025. All in on your knowledge account, not your brokerage account.